Welcome to Parade Ice Garden in tonight's Section 2A first round game, pitting the 9th-seeded St. Louis Park Orioles against the Waconia Wildcats. I'm John Fromm, and I'm joined by my colleague, friend, and color man, Mr. Steve Halfin. Steve, looking forward to a good battle tonight.
It should be a good battle. They played a little bit earlier this year, actually the first game of the year for St. Louis Park, and I think if my memory serves me, it was a 4-2 game, maybe with an empty netter. So Park played Waconia tough that game, and Waconia came out on top. So maybe the Orioles want to get a little revenge tonight.
Absolutely. Well, you're right. First game of the season was 4-2, and 2 power play goals for Waconia in that tilt, and they got 2 in the third that were knotted, thrown in by Justin Reinke, one of their leading scorers. So should be an even matchup. Teams from different conferences, but I'm sure because of their section ties, they'll continue to play in the future. There you take a look at the Orioles, who have been introduced. And for Waconia, there's Nathan Kovac, a 3-year starter in net for them. He's played almost 80 games in 3 years, counting playoffs. He's played almost every game. They do have an experienced team. Steve and I were just talking earlier. They returned 18 lettermen from last year's team that went 15-10-1. Coach Bantam, Dan Bantam, their coach, mentioned that we're hoping for a little more on-ice success this year, but it's a new season, and what might it not have transpired during the year, you can make good.
And I don't think that we're going to be doing the national anthem tonight, so it looks like they're sending them to go around the net and then to the benches, and we'll be dropping the buck here in just a minute.
Yeah, and Ryan Fromm in net for the Orioles, and I believe that was Noah Fortmeyer, and Frank Jermusik is playing defense tonight for them. I know the Orioles were happy to have Frank back on Saturday when they played Cooper. And let's hope we can have a good game like we did last Thursday on senior night, Steve. I thought the Orioles really brought a lot of energy, popped 4 in the back of the net on a pretty good Minneapolis team that
They played very well, actually, against one of the state's leading scorers, Henry Chrisman. And as a matter of fact, we helped him along. I think he had a hat trick against us that night. If not for him, it might have been a completely different game. Who do we got starting on the forward line here for the Orioles?
It looks like we got what I call the 9-10-11 line. You got the junior number 11, Curtis Greenbush. And, I believe they made a switch.
10, 11, 12 tonight.
Yeah, Jake Bear playing center from that line, and you got Nicky Owens on the right wing. And for the Wildcats, they're going with the Tassin, Matson, and Balaam line for them. That's their they've got 2 really good balanced lines for them. As the puck moves out to center ice and both teams scrap for it in the far circle, and here's Curtis Greenbush trying to win a battle against that wall and is able to at least push the puck in before the Wildcats can regroup. That's Kittleson.
Oh, Owens keeps it in there.
Kittleson and Benson on defense for them. And the Orioles are donned in their black sweaters with the orange trim, and Waconia coming in with the white. Looks like 26 Matson over there in the corner, sitting on his hind, trying to take that puck and unable to do so as Coleman takes that puck and pinches it in on the corner for them. Here's Tassin behind his own net, and that puck is shot out high on the far wall.
The far wall looks like a little shorter glass than they're probably used to over there, and it just went right over the top. And looks like the Orioles are going second line tonight. Miles Malarkey centering the second line. Jake Lucas Savage and Danny Murray out there getting the second line start tonight.
Malarkey, one of the second leading scorer on the team, and Lucas Savage leading the Orioles in points and goals with 14 goals and 6 assists. Danny Murray got his first goal of the season the other night, so hopefully the senior Murray can have a nice game.
That'd be great. There's a nice pass to centered it.
Yeah, and for the Wildcats breaking it up, here's Ribel for them. Puck is momentarily brought in, and they're going to have an offside whistle as his line mate, Mr. Blaine Wilsey, does skate in. Kind of like got little Viking colors out there for the Wildcats with the purple, yellow, and the white trim.
I guess I'd be remiss if I don't do a shout out to my son, TJ Halfin, who's at home. He wasn't feeling well today, and he's got a broken collarbone. These are his line mates out here tonight, so hopefully that they can come up big for the Orioles.
And even though we're not live tonight, we know TJ will enjoy watching the replay, and hopefully at some point we can get him back and get him ready for baseball season. So Puck is broken up this time by the Wildcats. A one-on-one with Plender. Backhand shot wide of the net that time by number 7, Ribel, as he had a momentary chance. Here's Malarkey, who corrals it and tries to go off the far wall, the short glass wall, the short plexiglass.
Looks like they're much shorter plexiglass than the players are used to.
I love this vantage point for announcing or watching, though. It's really nice to see what the Sean Podine and his staff, along with Bantam and the Wildcats, are up to. So teams will bring out their third units tonight, and here's number 38, Schiffman wins the draw back there for Waconia. Puck is redirected twice off the effort, that time by Fulkerson, and unfortunately for the Wildcats, not able to grant success on that attempt. But we'll go over to the
time bomb. Fromm is up to the task on that one, and kind of a change-up on him there.
Yeah, that hit. I don't know what that hit, but puck is shot down low, and we've got Noah Fortmeyer back out there on defense, and Jesper Junkala able to corral that puck and push it out to center ice. The finish flash, number 21 for the Orioles. Fromm with a mistake behind the net as he tried to set that puck behind the net for Fortmeyer, unable to corral that time for the Orioles, and Waconia almost gets a cheap goal. So a little breath being held by the play-by-play announcer on that one as well. Yeah. Here's 26 this time for the Wildcats. A shot high off the blocker that time is Matson, one of the leading scorers for the Wildcats, behind the net, pushes it out front, rebound, shot on Fromm that time by 34, and that's Balo. Puck is shot again on Fromm, and to relieve some pressure, the puck is shot all the way down by Frank Jermusic. I don't know if we have the tape on that. A couple really good chances by that Matson line. Matson's pump, number 26 for them, got the initial attempt. But you see Fromm mishandled as it goes off his skate, and then he is able to regroup and get the puck and make the save, but they are able to hold it in and get a couple chances after that. Face-off win again by Waconia.
I was just going to say an icing that the Orioles will take in that situation without an issue.
Yeah, absolutely. Jake Bear and the Orioles' first unit out there. Here's Greenbush. Curtis, the junior, who's had a good season, been banged up a little bit recently. We'll have to keep an eye on him, how his health is today, Steve.
Yeah, he had a separated shoulder a couple weeks ago. His right shoulder was separated, and he played the other day, but I think he got hurt again. So you're right, we got to keep our eyes on Greenbush.
And we should mention, as you talked about your son TJ, as the puck is centered out front, momentarily taken away by the Wildcats, that, you know, real loss. Your son TJ, the junior, had a really nice season on that second unit for the Orioles. Break this time for the Wildcats again. Puck is shot in by 37, kicked to the side by Fromm. That's Renke, their leading scorer, with 26 points. Wildcats playing catch out on the near wall here, and Jermusic, the senior, able to take it away, but that pass is errant and taken away this time by the Cats. Going behind the net this time, and here's Wilsey for them. Diagonal pass out front, shot, and that hit. Did that hit a stick or a skate?
It hit the inside of the pipe and went in.
Yeah,
it hit the inside of the pipe.
And it looked like, if we go to the replay there, as you take a look at Fromm, just some good sustained pressure they've had the last 2-3 minutes, and another opportunity, and that's banged home this time.
Well, right now, I'm
good diagonal pass here to 10. Yeah, and it was a redirect with the stick.
It was a redirect, you're right.
Yeah, I thought that hit something nice. You got to give credit where credit's due on that tip. I didn't get the number, but so at the 13-13 mark, not what the doctor ordered for the Orioles, and I believe that was 37 Renke who got it. Kittleson. So Kittleson gets that goal, along with Renke and Wilsey out there as well. Lucas Savage down low for the Orioles, and a nice wrister. Almost gets a piece of net that time by Jermusic. And a redirect by Danny Murray out front as this unit for the Orioles of Murray, Lucas Savage, and Malarkey coming at it with some intensity and fire that time. That puck's going to be shot all the way down, and we're going to have a nice whistle this time.
Right now, John, 7 shots to 0 is my count at the moment.
Wow. Well, let's hope we can change that. I know first and second period on Saturday against Cooper was not the energy the Orioles needed early on, but third period, really a lot to root for. So let's see if this unit with Joey Kramer out there with Carlos Seguenza and also Jesper Junkala, let's see what they can do for the Orioles. Kovac will stop that puck behind his net. The Seguenza barely misses on his attempt on a forecheck. Plender unable to hold the zone for St. Louis Park, and that puck is shot out And this is Schiffman for the Wildcats. Oh, a nice check laid on by Joey Kramer. And here's a breakaway this time. 38 coming in down low. And Fromm has it between the pads, but a great opportunity for 38 that time, Schiffman. He only has 1 goal and 5 assists on the season, but he had a nice chance at a break there.
Tell you what, Ryan the Time Bomb Fromm comes up big there, but you always hate it when the goalie's looking behind him.
Yeah, exactly.
He wasn't sure he had it, but he did.
He closed quick, but he looks like he got it just above the pad. But yeah, I hear you on that. I know. So just a little over 12 minutes remaining in the first period here as both teams change, and this is Matson's unit out there with Tassin and Balo for the Wildcats. Nice job on the defensive forecheck by Jermusik and Bear. Bear able to take that away momentarily, but unable to relieve it to center ice. And a mistake by the Wildcats is number 11, Hars, shoots it all the way down where number 10 for them, Kittleson, the goal scorer, picks it up. Jake Bear, the senior, does a nice job on the forecheck, able to corral that and shoot it on in. And the Wildcats will try to dump that off the glass and out, but a nice job on the hold that time by Nicky Owens. Behind the net, Kovac left it for his defensive partner, but it's stolen away by the Orioles. Almost a chance at a good opportunity there. Greenbush on the forecheck for St. Louis Park, and he's able to steal it. Unfortunately, would have been an offside situation, so he has to regroup. Here's Kittleson again this time, shoots it down low, and Jermusik, the senior, regroups in his far end. He's got Noah Fortmeyer with him there. Tries to break it up on the far wall. Stolen away, and Malarkey able to check one of the Wildcats off the puck. Shot over to the near wall here, and Greenbush lays a nice piece of lumber on one of the Wildcats. That was Coleman who got a check, and Curtis throwing his weight around again. 37 for the Wildcats. Ooh, a nice try on a backdoor play, almost materialized that time for the Wildcats. And here's number 14 for them, Wilsey, Renke, and Ribel out there, that top unit for them.
Orioles need to clear the zone here and regroup, I think.
Yeah, and St. Louis Park, a little bit of standing around, watching the play. I'd like to see the forwards moving a little bit more here, as would Coach Podine. Nice job that time by Jermusik, able to use his body and just tie it up on the wall there, but it's stolen away by Ribel behind the net, passes it out front, held in, and the puck is on its end. It's shot again, and a rebound opportunity. Nice job by Fromm, able to push that away. And here's Jake Lukasavage, a fresh body for the Orioles, as the Orioles will finish their change. Taken away this time by Coleman for the Wildcats, and TJ Rempfer able to push that up on the far wall as well. Malarkey, the junior for St. Louis Park, nice job corralling that puck at center ice. And Hill's being ridden off the puck momentarily as those two are having some contact down there.
Junkel sent it deep there. Hopefully we can get some action off of this forecheck.
Absolutely. Jesper's got some good size for the Orioles from his left wing position. There's a big unit. I mean, even Lukasavage has some legs. And here's one of the juniors who corralled a couple goals on Saturday, junior defenseman Charlie Hills. Able to push that forward and nicely, didn't push it too hard to get an icing call, so the Orioles are able to complete their change. Carlos Agenza gets a stick on that turnover. Here's Junkala, backhand, forehand, unable to get the shot to go through that time. Opportunity that time off the mistake by Waconia. Nice step up by Jermusik, and he's able to corral it and shoot it all the way down. Bad angle as it bounces the corner. Nice use of the body by Owens behind the net to Sagenza. Tried to play catch there, and Carlos lost his friend momentarily.
Orioles need to get some shots on net here. I still don't have them with a shot on net.
Long rebound off that opportunity by the Wildcats as Matson fires that on net again. He's got Balub and Tassin out there for him. Here's Kittleson behind the net as he pinches up from his defense position. And the Orioles are able to break it out and finish their change as well. Nice job by Nicky Owens dumping it in, the sophomore. And for Waconia, they're going to try to break it up, but a long pass is stolen away by Greenbush. Curtis unable to find anyone to help that time, and a possible break by Waconia, but Jermusik able to momentarily ride the Wildcat player off the puck, and then Frank is taken out hard on that job.
Here we go, the Orioles busting it out here. Let's see if they can make anything happen. No.
Owens tried to find Greenbush there, unable to do so, and here's Ribel again, getting some help this time. 14 for the Wildcats. Wilsey behind the net, to Ribel. Here's Wilsey, cross diagonal pass that time. Puck up to the blue line. Nearly put on net. Nice passing sequence is foiled. Does a nice job by Greenbush on the back check. Curtis laying the lumber to one of the Wildcats there, and Ribel also taken out hard that time by Hills.
Orioles have had a lot of difficulty clearing the zone this year, and it's showing again tonight.
Green, you just see Lucas Savage able to at least momentarily break it out. And that one of the things that makes that tough too, Steve, is come second period where you got the long change. If you're having a hard time breaking it out in the first period, when you got the long change, it can be doubly tough. So we'll see what Lucas Savage can do as he pushes it over to Danny Murray and Jermusic. Nice job on the forecheck. Good spacing by Wildcats. Nice job on the stick handling by Jermusic up to Lucas Savage.
Although this rink, they got the benches set up more towards the middle, so it's not going to be as long a change. But yeah, right. I know what you're talking about, Don. Yeah, you're right. At the rec center where Benilde and the Orioles share. Nice takeaway that time by Malarkey, as he fires it on net at least, and that was a high one that momentarily stole it. It's stolen away again by Malarkey, and this time the Wildcats are going to ice the puck here, I believe, at the 6:21 mark. Well, it's nice that we just got a couple shots on net, because as you know, it can't go in unless you shoot it. Right, exactly. And you look at the goal they scored, and it was a diagonal pass to the point. As there you see the Orioles with some chances there, and it was just a nice job on the redirect on the tip that that rang it off the dinner bell on that far side. Now we need Plender to put that on net. A lot of bodies in front, but Casey Lowe with the wrist shot. Taken away by the Wildcats this time, and a nice possible break this time. Oh, it hit the ref. Yeah, probably a little break there possibly for Waconia. Slowed her down. It might have been icing if it didn't hit the ref there. Yeah, exactly. Here's Balaam behind the net for Waconia. He's got some help there as he tries to fend off a nice check and a nice sequence there by Plender as he's able to muscle up, and Junkala unable to take it out of the zone there, but a nice job by Plender using that skate to kick it forward, Steve. Carlos Seguenza there trying to get it deep, but he doesn't quite get her deep enough. Oh, and here's Matson again. Matson, bad angle shot, and we saw in the first game of the night a bad angle shot by Minnehaha Academy tied it up with 4 seconds to go. No such thing as a bad shot. Nope. I'll agree with that every time. Every single time. I know. I mean, that was an amazing goal in the Minnehaha Blake games. Oh, nice job coming fresh off the ice for the Wildcats, number 37 for them. Kauma able to take that puck away. Back to the point this time for Hars. Hars and Kauma. Kauma goes right out front, and that puck rides up off a stick, and Kittleson will shoot it up front. Doesn't get through, but a high wrister, momentarily blocker by Fromm, goes over the net. And a nice job cycling the puck by Ribel there. They've got a partial unit on the change there as Reinke, Wilsey, and Ribel out there. Stolen away back front, and almost a stuff directed in, and Joey Kramer says, not so fast, you're not going to harass my goalie today. He That's right. I'm hoping he doesn't get any, sin bin time there. Right, as you take a look at Reinke behind the net, just takes the puck right out front. Fromm's all the way down, and he's got that stick flush against the ice. Thank goodness, because if there was a possibility he would have had a 5-hole open if he didn't have that stick flush. Jermusic off the Oriole face-off win, but Park not able to break it out that time. But here's Murray trying to split the D, and he's held up momentarily as he fires one in off the blocker that Kovac is able to push to the far wall. Lucas Savage on the forecheck behind the net with Kuhlman. Kuhlman joined out there with his partner Fulkerson. Ooh, a nice step up that time by Jermusic. Jermusic just leveled that kid there. And another step up. Throwing his weight around a little bit. Nice to see that out of Frank. He's really, I think, made some good strides this year in terms of his aggressive play and rushing the puck a little more. Oh, he's just laying people out. He laid out another Wildcat. He went 3 for 3, and that's going to make Podine and the coaches very happy. Here Noah Fortmeyer.
Oh, he almost had a break as Noah, who's got the best snapshot in the industry, almost broke that through. You can imagine a few of those, I don't know where the puck went there. Oh, here we go. Orioles are going to change here as Jermusic is able to wheel off here, and the Orioles complete their change. Junkala's line out there. Puck shot up to the near wall, and that's Balaam for them, and Kramer able to take it away momentarily.
Ooh, he called that onside.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that one was onside.
Yeah, it looked like there was a possible then. Waconia going to finish their change. Nothing here on the near side of the ice. And that pass just scoots a little past Yunkala's stick there for the Orioles. Nice as Orioles able to check it at center ice there, and the puck is shot down by the Wildcats, and the Orioles will regroup with Hills. Oh, back check, or excuse me, forecheck takes that puck away from Charlie. No opportunity though for the Wildcats to convert here.
Charlie the Tuna Hills.
Yeah, how did he get that nickname? What?
Well,
I hear
for
Grandpa.
Grandpa Hills gave him the nickname. And for those of you who remember watching the TV commercials of yesteryear, sorry, Charlie, only the best tasting tuna get to be star-kissed.
Really?
That's where that comes from.
And, oh, nice stop and go move as TJ Rep were able to momentarily stop that break this time for the Orioles. And Nicky Owens with some, nice to see some aggressive checking going on by the Orioles. That's one thing we didn't see a lot in the first and second period the other day.
We just need to pop one to get back in this game here. It's not a one-goal game. We should feel pretty happy about this. We need to get one here, though, before the end of the period would be very nice. Yeah, absolutely. You know, only 2 minutes to go here. Puck held in by Barris. He's got Rempfer, the defenseman, down low here, and Rempfer will try to corral that, as he does successfully, and pushes it over to Murray in the far corner. Murray ridden off that puck by Hars. As you hear Grandpa Hills in the background trying to encourage the Orioles. Oh, possible break here. 2-on-1 situation. Puck is passed. Oh, that's a good pass.
Boy, was that ever a nice pass. Stolen away by Matson again. Matson back. Oh, my heavens. And Matson had two opportunities. As the Wildcats were almost able to convert that on a backdoor play as Tassin was wide open, but he couldn't get the stick on it to make it 2-0.
And Murray finally clears the zone for the Orioles. We needed it out of that zone, and he just did it again there. We're not getting any offense going right now, though. They got to turn the tides here and get it in the offensive zone a little bit.
Here's Carlos. Oh, as he beats the player, going to the backhand there. Carlos, the junior winger and centerman for the Orioles. Back to Jermusik, and that puck caroms high off the blue. Oh, that would have been a great play if they wouldn't have whistled that, because it dropped right in front of Kovac.
That would have been nice.
He could have used
one of the Orioles there just to bang it home for us.
We need some we deserve some breaks.
We'll take it off the blue.
There you see Fromm's over there. Look at that. Oh,
that would have been a goal.
It would have been. You know, Frommer's a little wide, but there's no way he's going to slide all the way over on that. So just a little over a minute remaining as both teams will change their units, and one of the captains for the Wildcats, Matson, out there to take the draw, and he does win it this time against Greenbush. Puck is corralled and fired all the way over against the far wall, but a nice pinch in by Fortmeyer, able to hold it momentarily for Park.
1 minute remaining in the period. Sounded kind of like Charlie Brown's teacher on the loudspeaker there, but
yes.
That's what I think they were saying.
I think your vocal cords were much better than the PA announcer. All right, just 40 seconds remaining. Puck is shot down, and Fromm able to hold it in for Fortmeyer. Fortmeyer with a nice stop and go move, pushes it up the wall here. Greenbush trying to get a handle on that, unable to do so, and that puck is, again, with the low ceiling here.
Low ceiling here, yep.
Yeah, I always thought one of the best plays at Parade would be if you could get that lob pass that doesn't hit any of the blue, but the refs are probably going to whistle that even if it goes in there.
I think they are, John.
What do we got to lose, right? Exactly. Want to remind...
He's switching the lines up a little bit.
Yeah, he's got Lucas Savage out there with Bear and Murray now. Is Sean doing whatever he can to generate some chances, and Jermusik and Fortmeyer getting a lot of playing time with Hills back there on defense. I noticed.
You know, and I like to see it. He's given Danny Murray a decent amount of time, the senior forward, who actually didn't get as much time, you know, over throughout the season, but really has played well on the back half here.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you look at it, as my chair momentarily falls.
Did it slip through there? You got to put her forward.
I feel like the incredible shrinking man right now is my. I wish you could get a shot of me, but the chair is falling down and I'm losing.
John is shrinking.
Steve, you finished the period, all right?
All right, well, Greenbush is, he's got the puck against the sideboard. He's trying to break it out. Oh, he takes a wicked pop there. And Waconia is keeping it in, and then we do get out of the period just down 1 goal. I'll tell you what, Waconia outshot us in a major way that period.
What do you have officially there?
I've got 12 shots for Waconia, so that'd be 11 saved for Fromm. And I've got 3 shots for the Orioles, 2 of them from the blue line and beyond. So no real good scoring opportunities there for the Orioles. But you know, this is a hockey game, and we're only down 1-0.
Yeah, exactly. And look at and I want to commend Steve because the PA announcer also read the shots.
And he had 13-3. What did I say? 12 or 11-3. So
man,
I think he gave
one
them
of the best in the industry.
I'm telling you. They gave him a shot that was going to sail over the net, and I didn't give it to him. It's got to be able to go in for it to be a shot.
Absolutely. No argument here from a goalie pair, and it needs to be a quality save.
That's right.
We're going to step away momentarily, but before we do, I wanted to let everyone know if you want to get a copy of this game or any of the broadcasts here, you can go to www.parktv.org. ParkTV.org. You can also watch a lot of the games through the YouTube channel that St. Louis Park has now. Just tons of games on there.
The YouTube channel is so much easier to use than what we were using before, what ParkTV was using before. And YouTube is so user-friendly. It's just great. I was on there today. You can watch the Park Update, which is a 10-minute update on a weekly basis. They've got a couple of people from ParkTV doing that, and a lot of the sporting events, city council meetings, lots of different things you can watch on there. This shift, I think, is very positive.
And maybe in the second intermission, Steve, we can talk a little bit about some of the goings-on with the city as well. I'd like Councilman Halfin maybe to update us on what's going on with the Southwest Transit, maybe the freight reroute, some really non-controversial topics that I'm sure Steve would love to talk about.
You know what? If you say so, we can talk about it, John. Whatever you say.
All right. Well, that could be his downfall. We're going to step away. We're going to step away momentarily at Parade. After one, still a close game. We'll see if the Orioles can generate some offense, as Coach Podine has really mixed up his lines a lot as we go. 1-0 here. Stay with us here on Park 16.
And now, another adventure with Savings Man.
Look, honey, the neighbors just bought a big screen TV.
Hey, I just got a bonus at work. Maybe we should get one too.
Hold on there.
Savings Man.
Using your bonus to secure your future by paying down debt or saving is a better way to go.
Well, I declare you're right, Savings Man.
Stay ahead by choosing to save. And don't worry about keeping up with the Joneses.
But their name is Johnson.
For more tips and tools, visit choosetosave.org today.
We're back for period 2 here at Parade Ice Garden. John Fromm along with Steve Halfin as both teams go towards center ice, and the Malarkey, Danny Murray, and Lucas Savage line will start it off for Park, along with Tassin, Matson, and Ballos for Waconia. Puck is shot down, and Benson is able to corral that for Waconia and break it up the near side. Here's Matson, number 26 for them, as he tries to...
Malarkey keeps it in there.
Nice check that time. As see if the Orioles heard much from. And a hot. You don't often see Mr. Fortmeyer firing slappers.
He usually goes snapshot there, but that was a good shot. A little bit lower, we could have tallied one.
Yeah, nice hold that time by Charlie Hills as well on the point there. 2-on-2 break this time as that puck is shot in hard by 24 for the Wildcats. And the Orioles will regroup, and here's Fortmeyer again as the Orioles complete a change, partial change as well. And this is Lucas Savage, the junior, goes to the backhand, stop and go move, nobody out front. But Danny Murray able to hold that in, and Hills able to, Jermusik able to step up. Nice speed for Lucas Savage on that rush.
You know, every now and then when he really gets going, he can create some action. He needs to keep his head up a little bit more and see the ice a little bit better, and he's doing that over time. Yeah. But he does create some action for the Orioles.
Yeah, you know, and as the Wildcats able to switch lines here. Jermusik and we should say Rempfer back out there on defense for the Orioles. And here's Jake Bear at center with Greenbush and Owens again. Not sure if we haven't seen a lot of Nicky Hames tonight. Have you heard?
He's out with concussion-like symptoms.
Okay.
Yeah, he missed the last game and he's out this game.
Right.
I think he'd be able to get back on the ice tomorrow, but you know we don't mess around with concussion-like symptoms the way they used to.
So with your son down and also with him, there's a couple of first and second line forwards. Big check at the blue line there. And Waconia able to take that puck away. Rempfer not able to hold on to his man. A break, and that puck high and near side as he's able to beat Remfer cleanly. And I believe that was number 7?
I think it was. That was a very nice shot. I thought that play was offsides, and I almost said it. But the referee was right there, and he called it onside.
Yeah, Rival goes right by Remfer, and TJ momentarily slipped, and then maybe Fromm could have come out a little bit on that, but tough to know what to do there. So just a minute and a half into the second period, Waconia Tanner Rival able to get his first goal there.
If we had a wide-angle view, we could see if that play was onside or not. But in the whole big scheme of things, it doesn't matter. It counts as a goal.
Yeah, exactly. And here's Carlos. Gets the puck behind the net, and here's Joey Kramer able to try to shoot it out front, but it's taken away by Waconia. For the Wildcats, here's number 21 for them as he goes by Charlie Hills partially. Puck is sitting out front. Oh, and a nice job on a back check. I think that was Joey Kramer who might have saved a goal there as the puck was just sitting there.
Yeah, that was close.
Jesper on the forecheck for the Orioles.
You love how I state the obvious, John? That was close.
That's what a color man has to do. We're creating emotion here. 2-on-1 this time for Waconia, as it looks like Matson on a weak side.
No.
Oh, and another shot, and that goes in as well. I'm sorry, as number 38 Schiffman able to corral that and get his second goal of the year on a shallow angle shot that beats Fromm. I don't know if that was 5-hole or not, but that'll make it 3-0 early in the second period here. Casey Plender.
You know, it was only a matter of time until the floodgates opened for Waconia with the amount of shots they were putting on Fromm, and the Orioles not getting very many shots. He played a great first period, and looks like Coach Podine's going to take a timeout here to regroup.
There's no tomorrow, and I don't know if we have the replay of that. It was a 2-on-1 opportunity, and Ryan a little deeper in the net maybe than he might have wanted to be in that scenario. I don't know how the goalie coaches deal with that in terms of how what depth you're supposed to be in, but. So 14.5 remaining here in the second period, and Waconia with 2 early goals in the second, able to pump it out to a 3-0 lead. We're going to have a guest at the end of the second period as the Bantam A head coach, Colin Hoyman, is it?
Homan, I think.
Homan is going to join us. One of Steve's quote-unquote gets.
Yeah, I went out into the stands and I said, hey, you want to do in between interview in between second and third period?
And was any money exchanged or anything?
No, he's just doing this out of the goodness of his heart.
All right, well and likewise you and I are. We want it known that we are not on the city payroll tonight.
Not tonight.
Not tonight, but it will happen in the future for announcing. Steve's already there as a councilman. As we're back to live action, Lucas Savage able to sweep it in for the Orioles.
But speaking of hockey and city payroll, over the years, I was a warming house attendant many times throughout the years, and I'm sure you were on the city staff for a while there in your younger years, weren't you, John?
Yeah, I was. I worked actually 4 summers for the city full time, and then decided to. Here's a break this time for Matson for them, as we'll cover that a little later.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm sure people don't need to hear more about me. Here's Balaam with a nice forecheck that time for them, and Jermusik able to take the puck away, and he's looking for Lucas Savage on the far side, but not able to find him, and that's 37 for them. Benson able to take the puck in, and here's Kittleson, who got the first goal of the game for Waconia. Nice pass, stolen away, another opportunity, and Frommer. Ooh. Wow, there was another
nice glove
goal.
Save.
Fort Wensler, who has 10 already on the year, probably mad at himself, but Ryan made a nice glove save there to keep it at 3. So maybe the last one shouldn't have gone in, but sometimes you give and you take away.
You give and you get, I'm telling you.
He's really wide open there, and yeah. So 13:33 to go, and the Orioles win the faceoff, but not able to control the puck. Although Jake Beer with a nice job on the takeout there, as Forts Wensler not able to keep that puck for them. Here's Forts Wensler again, trying to stick handle through traffic. Lucas Savage being ridden off the puck momentarily, and that's Forts Wensler again. And another chance down low. And a nice job by Charlie Hills to get a stick on that, because you might have had a nice one-time opportunity for the Wildcats.
I give this Waconia team a lot of credit. They're winning races to the majority of the pucks, and they're just flat out hustling the Orioles right now. We need to a little bit more get up in our go here to try and get back in this game.
Well, you know, these teams met, as we talked about, the first game of the season. Waconia's, you know, I was looking at some of the stats, even though they're 9-15-1, and they had scored 84 goals on the season, Steve, and only allowed 97, which normally when you're that up and down on your 500 mark, you'd think it'd be a way different balance sheet.
Right.
But they've been getting some good goaltending and a lot of scoring from their seniors. And we mentioned all the 18 returning players. They had a lot more established players. So you take a look at one of those returners. That's Alex Tassin, number 25, the junior for Waconia.
Now, seeing that you got the stats for Waconia there, do you have the stats for the Orioles for how many goals we scored throughout the year? I'm guessing it was in the 50 range.
Yeah, with the last 2 games just getting 4 goals apiece, that brought us up to 52 goals.
Yeah.
And so we were outscored 95-52. Puck shot diagonally all across the ice, and Wildcats will have to regroup at center ice as here's Fulkerson. Pushes it over to the near wall hitter, and it's not able to be taken in by Tassin. But a nice job by Fortmeyer behind the net as he's able to gain possession for the Orioles. Noah Fortmeyer back and forth that time with Charlie Hills, and the right-handed shooter able to punch it to center ice. A nice job as Danny Murray does a 360 on his back and is able to get back on his skates. That was really impressive.
He lost his footing there for a second, but he was back up and going.
Yeah, that was impressive. I don't know if they have a tumbling routine with skating with that Red Bull event that goes on, but that was nice to see. Lucas Savage over to...
I think that they do, but it's not part of the regular deal.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know BJ Byers and some of the other Park guys participated. John Keesley.
Keesley did over the years. I don't think he did this year, but Byers did again.
Oh, wow. Nice. You don't often see a behind-the-back pass attempt on a 2-on-1. Puck shot to the corner, slap shot down low. Fromm able to get a pad on that. Remford trying to, nice job by TJ behind his own net as he wins that and pushes it away. Here's Lucas Savage. I don't think I've ever seen a behind-the-back pass on a 2-0-1 puck attempted like that play. So 11 minutes remaining in the second period as Remfer and the Orioles need to get one here to try to get the momentum shifted. Malarkey not able to corral that at center ice, and this is Rybel who shoots it in this time. Rybel out there with Forts wins, and here's Malarkey able to kick it out of the zone.
Cleared the zone there.
Yeah, nice feet by Miles, the junior.
We've had some interesting play at the blue line this year, on and off. We've got a very young blue line for the most part, and they're, you know, they'll hopefully take a lot of this experience from this year into next year.
You know, and we never really touched on it, as it looks like we may have an icing call. Oh, we do. Well, you know, we talked about the goal scoring. I think only 2 of the 52 goals that Park scored this year are going to graduate.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Jesper's gone too, but you got some good players on that Bantam A team, and we'll talk about that. And then with all the experience, you know, you got Charlie Hills and everybody but Frank on the blue line coming back, your son and everybody up front. You should have a really senior-laden team next year. And
they're going to be very experienced, and like you're saying, hopefully that experience will turn into a little bit more successful season on the ice. Fortmeyer laid some wood there on number 40 for Waconia.
Yeah, that was Forts went there. Ooh, nice save and shot that time. Steve got that shot from number 37. That was Reinke who shot that down low for them. Just 10 minutes remaining here, and Greenbush able to try to battle as well, because that puck is shot in and kicked off Fromm's stick and goes high out of play here. We should mention Coach Podine. I conferred with him whether we were going to announce the game tonight. I wanted to make sure it was okay. I know he's going to have an extensive summer camp for any of the kids or parents that might be watching the broadcast tonight, and you can go on the St. Louis Park Hockey Association website, which I think is slpha.org, to get information on the summer program and other spring opportunities. So make sure you check that out.
And he's doing those summer programs at every single level, the mites all the way through the high school level. So if you've got a hockey player in St. Louis Park and you want him to have an opportunity to skate with someone who raised the cup above his head, it's a great opportunity.
That was a beautiful shot that time by 38. I don't know if you saw that. Fromm made the save on that, but Schiffman snapshotted that through the legs that time. So Charlie Hills, nice job bumping off the puck that time. And here's number 9, one of the defensemen for them. There's Coleman. He's the only senior defenseman for Waconia. They're going to have a lot coming back.
Hills with a shot right on.
Yeah, Charlie pumped in a couple last game. Yeah, Waconia's got a relatively young team too, with 5 defensemen returning next year, and they do graduate 6 of their forwards though, so Park will have a lot more experience coming back, and some good competition in the summer with so many spots that have players that are already at them. We'll see what happens next year.
Right. Ooh.
Wow, nice job by Plender.
Plender's hustling there, that's for sure.
Yeah, he almost hurt himself. And Jermusik able to push that puck, and nice job by Lucas Savage just getting it out of the zone this time. Nice takeout that time by Danny Murray. Orioles using the body a little bit. Like to see him continue to do that. Here's Jermusik. Nice job on the pass and the breakout. Trip possibly? No, not called that time. Right in front of Coach Bodine, Danny Murray went diving. So, but it was a definite trip. So 34 for the Wildcats. Balaam able to corral that puck on the near side here. Nice put of stick work that time by Plender, able to hold it in as the Wildcats will regroup. Just 8:23 remaining in the second period here. Park trying to get on the board, and Lucas Savage with a nice forecheck just tries to corral it and push it out front, but Danny Murray not able to get a stick on that. For the Orioles as well, Murray, ooh, that one goes off the shin pads as Danny attempted to shot it and almost bounced over the plexiglass. So little pinball action there,
Murray's
Steve.
heading to the bench, and Greenbush is going to spell him here.
Nice step up again by, I think Jermusik's had a nice game for the Orioles, stepping up and laying the lumber and making some good reads with the stick. Nice feet that time by Plender as well. Casey with a couple good holds, and there you see the puck just thrown out of his own zone. Sometimes people don't realize if you're on the defensive side and you're in your own zone, you can play it with your hand, although sometimes they don't allow a full throw.
Is that considered icing? That he waved off icing?
Well,
that was weird.
That was weird because he threw it all the way down.
I don't know what the call on that would be.
Here's Greenbush, possible break.
So he's got to shoot that puck.
Oh, poshed out front. Curtis did have a chance, and Kittleson was back checking on him. Didn't shoot right away, and then he pushed it into the end there. So you see Curtis here as he had a one-on-one. We lost that view momentarily.
Coach Podine's going to ask about the throwing of the puck, I think.
Yeah, because it went all the way down the ice. Normally, you know, if you threw it a few feet, they're in your own zone, but
it's at least they say you can't grab the puck. That you can grab it and throw it down, but the second you hold it and take a step with it, they're supposed to blow the whistle.
But if you bat it all the way down like that, isn't that, you'd think that would be an icing?
I thought it should have been icing.
Look at, but
Coach Bodine, I think, is saying the same thing we are. Why was that at least not icing, if not a whistle for cupping the puck?
Now, a good call here. It looks like Paul might have, looks like 34 for them. Reinke might have been the one that played it with his hand. Yeah, look, watch Reinke, 34 here, come forward. Nope, not Reinke. It's, look at that, just literally thrown. I mean, there's no way you can do that unless you, I don't know, get your glove around.
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do? 7:15 remaining. Wildcats up the near side. Fortmeyer tries to pinch and does successfully, but not able to hold it in. Nice job by Greenbush, able to take over Fortmeyer's position on that, as forwards always have to be capable and understanding that that's their responsibility. Greenbush and Bear out there for the Orioles, as the Wildcats have the Kalma line out there for them. Excuse me, this is Haars. Hasn't seen a lot of ice for them. They're defensemen behind his own
Greenbush
zone.
throws it up front, but nobody home.
And Charlie Hill's going to be able to push that down as number 7 for the Wildcats. Rival not able to sweep that away from Charlie's skates as he dove for it. Kovac hasn't really been tested a lot, a couple opportunities, and we're going to have Jake Bear messed with Kovac there, and we're going to have some fisticuffs possibly.
Oh, now Joey Kramer's getting into it. And, little frustration on the Orioles right now.
Yeah, I think, you know, just a season long worth of frustration where it hasn't been easy getting a lot of wins, and you can see the ref talking to Joey Kramer. He's sending him over to the box as possibly a third man in, I think, here. And number 7 for the Wildcats, Rival, also going to get sent to the box, as is number 10, Kittleson.
And I'm sure Jake Bear is going to be coming over to the box, too.
I tell you, you know, that one ref was right in the middle. The referee was right in the middle of that. It looks like Jake might have thrown a punch there, and they can see 7 for them. Threw a punch as well, rival. So that's.
I'm not sure what that person's yelling, John.
Yeah, I think even though there were some punches thrown, I have a feeling we're going to get stuck with 2 guys on each club getting coincidental minors. Although I see a third one in the bench.
Third guy for them. I can't imagine that we're just not going to go even up on that. But
Paul, do you have any ability to go back to that replay and slow it down as Baird goes by Kovac, the Waconia goalie? Don't know if you do, but I'm wondering if you can slow this down. Here's 17, Jake Bair. Now, Kovac goes on the puck, stop, 30, and Jake in 37. Well, Jake's, it looks like Jake did make contact with Kovac, and then understandably Reinke gets mad and trying to protect his goalie. You got 7, Ribel comes in. Now he's going to get a penalty, and they're punch thrown by.
And then Kramer jumps in there and grabs number 7 and says,
wow,
get out of here.
I love the fact we have these high-def cameras to really break this down, and maybe not some good parental memories for some of those kids' parents, but it's nice to see what transpired there. Kovac definitely had the puck and collapsed on it, and I was just trying to see if Jake was partially pushed into him or what might have happened. So
the ref's writing some down on a sheet of paper, which usually means they're going to kick somebody out of a game. So I don't know what we got going on here.
Yeah, it might have been on the Bear punch, but we'll have to find out. And both teams with plenty of skaters. This does get one advantage for Park here. Park not playing with as much depth, obviously, with your son being out as well as Nicky Hames. So this does give the Orioles a second vis-a-vis timeout for the period. So not sure what Coach Podine is discussing with the guys.
Well, the referees with the orange stripes on their arms are trying to figure it all out right now, and assistant captain Curtis Greenbush is coming on over to try and hear what they have to say too.
Yeah, Noah, Curtis, and Ryan are the captains. Not sure if Coach Podine sending him over. We should mention we'll have a break in the play here. Oriole boys basketball team is 18-4 on the season, Steve, and 12-1 in the conference. They've got a home game Friday, and then next Tuesday, a big game against Cooper. Cooper is leading the conference at 13-0, and if Park can win, that's Park's only loss. Park will get a chance to be co-champs of the conference.
Wow, they're having a heck of a year, and I know Cooper's got a great basketball team.
That Vaughn kid is really big time.
He's going D1, right? Is he already signed? Or
he's only a junior.
He's a junior,
so.
That's right.
And make sure you get on out if you can. I was at last week's boys basketball game, and I was thinking, we're going to have a big crowd. It was a Friday night, but a little light on the attendance. So I want to encourage all the Park fans. You really got an excellent senior driven team out there with some really good athletes. Pollard going to Northern State on a scholarship, and I think Kashif Hayes, I heard, maybe going to play junior college. So get on out this Friday. Next Tuesday is the big one against Cooper.
Are any of these games going to be on ParkTV, do we know?
Funny that you should ask. Our crack director, Paul Broden, down in the truck, and I were discussing that via email earlier.
Right.
We didn't have to talk. We did it via email. And next Tuesday and Friday are Park 16 productions and the conclusion of Bruce Hoberman's 34th year of announcing. So
you gotta love Bruce. He has been the staple of Park TVs from day one.
When you and I were we're just entering high school practically.
Bruce was on the air doing it. We learned it all from Bruce.
Exactly. He taught us how to talk to the ladies, how to interact with the public. Although he might not want to. I don't know if Bruce is even going to watch the replay of this, so he won't know that we're calling him out. But
Bruce, how are you doing? It's good. I got to do a baseball game with Bruce last summer, and last spring, anyways.
And Steve, I haven't talked to Paul about this, but I was thinking about trying to get some of the Legion games or maybe some of the summertime AAA games on this year. We haven't done that in the past, but I know not a lot of sporting events carried in the summer, but maybe that's something we can change.
Yeah, we definitely could get some of those games on. I would guess that you and maybe somebody else might want to do those games.
Well, I'll have to talk to Mike Resnick about that.
Maybe Ray would want to come on.
You were Ray. Yeah, it seems like there's, and you know what's funny? Danny Bissonette, who you and I know well, assistant baseball coach, and did some of our hockey games this year doing interviews. He definitely made it known to Bruce and Paul that he was available next week for live remote interviews during the basketball game. So nice to get Danny involved. And if you are interested ever in volunteering with Park 16 to learn about cameras or to learn the fine skills that are required to be the talent in this operation, you know, I'm sure Paul Broden will be happy to put that up.
Well, what do we got going here?
I'm not sure. Mitchell Hickerson over to the going to serve maybe a bench penalty here. I'm not sure if that's on Jake Bear.
Yeah, there may be a little 10-minute extra misconduct or game misconduct. So Mitchell Hickerson will be serving the main penalty, and somebody else. They didn't announce anything, so they don't know.
And 5-on-5, so everything is
everything's even.
Everything's even. So Danny Murray shooting it in for the Orioles this time. Just over 6 minutes remaining in the second stanza here. Puck pushed down low, and Murray not able to beat that possible break, and a nice set of hands by Miles Malarkey, as Matson would have had a breakaway on that sequence. Matson joined at center ice by Wilsey. This is Wilsey as he goes by into the corner. Pushes it behind Noah Fortmeyer, trying to go to the backhand, and a nice piece of work by Fortmeyer. Fortmeyer working it up the far wall. Is Danny Murray not able to get that out? Danny goes down, and I don't know if he attempted to block that, but nice pressure relief, and Lucas Savage centers it, pushes it to center ice here.
Malarkey's trying to get some forecheck on. They almost sent it in their own goal right there, John.
Boy.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I was going to say, possible 2-on-1. Nice work by Charlie there. And here's your music. Like to see him carry that puck up, and he's just going to dump it all the way down onto Kovac. Kovac, the senior goalie, hadn't been tested a lot, but he was equal. Greenbush with a steal.
Come on, get a
shot.
A
wrist shot. Oh, hits the outside of the post.
pipe.
Not an official shot.
That doesn't even count as a shot on goal, John. I don't know if you know that.
Backhand attempt by Curtis, not able to get through. Taken away that time.
Owens.
Oh, wow. Nicky Owens turned and fired, and we almost had a break there.
That was our best scoring opportunity by far tonight.
It really was. And Curtis almost had a good opportunity that he shot. He rang it off the side of the post, as you watch here. He'll ring it off the side of the post, and then he'll follow the shot, though, nicely. Nice to see him turn and follow.
Kept his feet moving the whole time. 35.
Yeah, I believe that's the third or fourth unit for them. I don't have 35 on the roster, but Alec Bowman, the senior, getting some ice for Waconia here. 44 on the forecheck for them. That's Brady Turner. I haven't called his name either today. So trying to get, nice to see Coach Bantam getting some of the guys in that don't get a lot of ice for them, but a little early in the game, in my opinion, to be putting your fourth and fifth lines out there. So here's
Greenbush. You see, he's got to shoot that puck there. You know, we're not going to even get a shot in that situation. What could it hurt to shoot and maybe create a rebound? I think that's what the coaching staff really needs to get these guys shooting the puck at every opportunity.
And you know, they just pound and pound on that, I'm sure, all the time in practice. And you know, we're just not the kind of team that's going to get the tic-tac-toe backdoor passes and plays, you know. Stolen away that time at center ice here.
Called a little offside there. Yeah,
Wilsey's going to get whistled down for the offside.
By the way, I think that play was less offsides than the one that they scored the goal on.
Yeah, I was going to say. Well, Bear, Kramer, and Hickerson all coming back, as are the Waconia players. So Jake Bear did just get a minor. I thought with the discussions and et cetera, there was a possibility that
I'm surprised they didn't, like, because Hickerson went into the box. He wasn't on the ice when the altercation took place. Maybe we had a double minor, or one of them had a double minor, but I don't think that was 4 minutes, was it?
No, it wasn't, because it was at the 6:21 mark.
Right.
But so those guys all only got a 2-minute minor. Puck is shot down, not going to be a break, and we'll see if Danny Murray can steal the puck, and indeed he does. Oh, what did that? Danny Murray with a steal, as that was just a misplay behind the net.
Almost shelved him.
You know, I have seen Waconia make some misplays in their own end. We haven't been able to capitalize. But Paulie, if you swing that highlight package to us and go to the replay, I was watching Danny just follow that, and he kind of was going about half speed. Didn't look like he was involved.
He was like hacking the guy all the way along.
And look at that.
Oh,
hit the
off the
upper
top
part
of the shoulder.
Wow, because Kovac very lucky that didn't go over his shoulder. Another inch and Orioles would have cut it to 3-1.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the majority of this season, there's not a lot of breaks for this Oriole team. The puck's hasn't bounced our way much of the year.
No, it hasn't. I was going to say we had a few breaks in that Minneapolis game, but that was about it. Here's Greenbush as he gets the far line and goes right by Kittleson, taken out momentarily, and a nice piece of work by the Wildcats. Here's Kittleson with some speed. Far side, he sees Rybel. Rybel goes by Charlie Hills momentarily, taken off the play.
We got a penalty on that.
I might have had Charlie with a minor. Right out front, back door. Oh, Rybel not able to convert. And at the 250 mark, not what the doctor ordered in Oriole land is, we're going to have a trip called on Charlie Hills here at the 250 mark.
I know Charlie's shaking his head as he goes to the box, but the stick got in between the guy's legs and he went down, and that's a tripping penalty. You know, you never see someone coming to the box nodding, going, "Yep, that was me."
Right.
You know,
I did it. I mean, I would, because knowing how I played with my left wing aggressiveness, I definitely knew the sin bin was my favorite spot. Okay.
Did you hang out there a while?
I hung out there too often because I was not skilled athletically with his skating skills. All right, so 5-on-4 with Waconia, and really a must-kill this time for Park with any chance to stay. And Greenbush able to get that puck, and let's see if Curtis can get it out. Just pinched up to the line, but not taken out. Oh, and right out front, there's an open Wildcat player as the puck caroms harmlessly. Back out to the point for the Wildcats, and here's Coleman. Coleman at the right point. Backdoor pass, almost taken away by Lucas Savage.
Lucas Savage would have been on his own there if he could have got a stick on that.
And here's Wilsey, 14. He's got 5 power play goals on the year. Wrister, and on net. Nice job by Plender, able to corral that rebound. And here's another opportunity, and Fromm able to glove that nicely, as that was earmarked for the corner that time by Coleman. I was taking a look before the game, Steve. They've popped in 24 power play goals on the year. They're almost humming at 30% roughly for the, and most of the goals have come from Rybel and Wilsey and Matson, as those 3 big snipers have 20 of their goals on the power play.
30% is a very respectable power play in high school hockey.
Exactly. I'd take it right now. And hopefully the Orioles will be able to kill this and then get some chances in the third themselves on the power play. If we could at least get 1 and cut it to 2, that's, as I always hear from Basil, that's the worst lead in hockey.
Yeah, that's what they say.
That puck was directed accidentally by Carlos and pushed wide of the net.
Now they cleared the zone there.
Kittleson with a nice cross-ring pass this time to Rybel. Rybel goes
right
by
around
TJ Remper. Oh, nice save by Frommer. Unfortunately for TJ that time, he lost handle on Rybel and he went right by him that time. Take a look at that.
Yeah, Remfer got beat up there a little bit, but
you know, he's only a sophomore.
Yeah, no, he's got time.
Yeah,
he's got time.
And they're going
to makes, you know, the backstop was there to make that save.
So 37 seconds remaining in the power play and 1:24 in the second period here. Curtis trying to read that and almost take it away. Here's Matson again, 26 for them. Matson, the senior, breaks the Oriole zone, operating behind the net, looking out front, passes it out front to the point. Taken away that time. Here's Kittleson, fires a slapper, redirect, and a rebound shot, and Frommer somehow.
I don't know how he made that save. He made the initial save. That rebound I thought was going to get pounded home, and he somehow covered that puck.
Yeah, and I think he got some good help on the weak side that time by Plender too, defensively. By Noah. Because there you see is that number 10 again? Is that Gittleson who's hammered that puck on net? And then so
Remfer actually played that play much better than the play before. He kept the guy wide, and he didn't let him cut towards the net. So he's got to learn those angles.
Yep. So still at 3-0 here. Just 1:05 remaining in the second. 15 seconds until Charlie Hills will regain the. See if Curtis can win this faceoff. Not able to do so. Here's Matson operating on that far wall. Momentarily behind Remfer. Goes back door, front door. Ooh! He went to the forehand and pulled that out front and then went back door, but TJ was able to help get enough of that Ryan was able to corral that. So as you watch the replay there, I don't know if we have that, but
yeah,
I always get scared by those because I know when you're sliding left or right too, that 5-hole gets open, and if.
How would you know that so much, John? You watched the goalie a lot?
I seem to watch the goalies a lot.
Another one right out
that
front
one
and
shot,
another
save.
save.
Wow, so that's going to kill it as Charlie Hills. Oh, Charlie momentarily as he came off from the power or the penalty kill had a chance. 40 seconds remaining and the puck is swatted up the near side to Greenbush. Greeny working his magic in his near wall, but not able to push it on out. And here for the Wildcats, number 37, that's Reinke again as he's still out there. Here's Rybel pushed out front. Frommer closes those pads quick. Haven't seen that save a lot, but he's able to push them together there. So that's nice to see.
He just kept, he's solid in there. He's played a very good game. He's seen a lot of shots. I haven't counted them up yet, but
yeah. Well, I know he's going to feel bad about that one on the shallow angle shot that went in, but he's had some good saves, and we still got a chance if we could just get one, and then you never know. I mean, we pumped 3 goals in that third period on Saturday, so be interesting to see with 20 seconds remaining. You just don't want to turn it over here in your own zone. Danny going to hold on to that, just make sure he gets it out, and there we go.
She does.
It's going to pretty much wind down the end of the second. Lucas
nice
Savage
if we
on
could get a shot here, if we could forecheck a little bit and get a shot on net. They're doing the smart thing and just protecting the puck.
Being conservative down there. So 2 early goals in the second period were what the Wildcats got early on, and that put it at 3-0, but we're going to listen for the shots on goal. So 12-4 the shots on goal for the second period.
He only had 12. I had him at I got him up to 28 shots.
Yeah, that's okay.
Which would be with my math. That
your
would
St.
be
Louis Park math.
That would kind of St. Louis Park math. I had him with 16 shots on net in that period, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I had the Orioles with 4, so we were right on the Orioles.
Yeah.
But I had them with a few more shots that he didn't give them. So right now I've got shots on goal, 28 for Waconia, 7 for the Orioles. That means Ryan Fromm has made 25 saves tonight so far, and their goalie has only made. Yeah, we're really doing this.
We're going to be joined by a special guest here. Colin, I haven't even had a chance to meet you officially as Colin. Is it Holman? Yeah. Holman is going to join us, the Bantam A head coach, as Steve Holfen pulled out his bag of tricks and goes into the audience.
I went into the audience and pulled out a special guest. Well, I saw Colin out there. Yeah, you're on live, so you're the Bantam A coach for the St. Louis Park Hockey Association, and just wanted to bring you on and ask you how your season's going so far. Wanted to talk about some of the talent on your team and who you think might be able to step into the varsity shoes next year. From a coaching perspective.
The season went really.
Your mic needs to get. John, come here. We're a little technical difficulties. We got to turn a mic on.
Oh, just push the button there.
There we go. Now you're on. I didn't have you on. I'm sorry.
And Colin, we've got. Why don't you face this way here so
we're on.
All the parents can get a good look at their Bantam A coach and the kids. Any words of wisdom? Is the season over yet?
No, we're still going, and we'll probably have another 5 scrimmages here.
Okay.
Through the middle of March, but no, it's there's a lot of good players down there. We have a pretty good goaltender.
Yeah, Connor.
And Connor Clares.
With 2 senior goaltenders, Connor might have an opportunity to step in as the varsity goalie. He's definitely going to get to compete for it.
Yeah. If he continues to work hard and do the stuff that he's done to get to this point, he should have a pretty good shot at it. And it's an exciting time because there's a lot of young kids who. Will have an opportunity if they put in the time to compete next year. So I think park hockey is getting better. The Pee Wee A team is still playing in their district tournament tonight. Not sure if they won or lost their game tonight, but again, there's a lot of good kids there as well. So
you know what I'll have to do? I'll have to try and get in touch with John Basil, who I'm sitting in his seat tonight because his son Willie's on that Pee Wee A team, and I'll try and get in touch with him and see how the Pee Wee team did, and maybe we can announce it in the third period.
Yeah.
So what's your record, and how did districts go for you? You guys still going, or?
No, we lost a tough game to Orono in overtime in districts, but. Again, if you look at going into high school, Orono is a pretty high seed in this section, and
right.
The Bantam A group this year beat Mound, which is the 2 seed, I believe.
Right.
Oh, great.
And
you had a really close game to Wayzata, I saw, too, at the rec center. I thought it was a well-played game.
Yep. We lost by a goal to Wayzata's, single A team, and obviously they're a very big successful AA program. So, we were able to beat Warroad this year up in Warroad, which, obviously they're a perennial high school power, if you will. So, there was a lot of good things. I think we ended up with about, 15 or 16 wins. We had our share of losses, but, I think the program at the youth level is definitely moving in the right direction.
And my whole thing about, as my son came all the way through the program, all the way through Bantams before he got into high school, it was all about not necessarily wins and losses, but competing. And being in competitive games, not getting, in that 10-1 game, whether you're winning or losing, nobody likes being in a 10-1 game. Yeah. So is that would you sum up the season as that your boys were competed pretty much in the majority of the games?
Yeah, really, and especially in district play. I mean, we didn't finish as high as we would have liked in districts, but with that being said, I mean, really, even versus Hopkins and a lot of, Osseo Maple Grove and really some bigger programs that are out there, most of those games were, 1-2 goal losses.
Yeah, that's great.
And then we were, able to win, some pretty big games as well. So, and the biggest thing is, going to the merger is, right now when we're solely St. Louis Park kids, we're also asking them to play, A hockey.
Right.
And for some of these kids, that's been a big jump. But what we're starting to see is, as the kids get multiple years of this, the kids are really embracing it and continuing to work hard to become more competitive. And, really.
And it's going to help them when they get to high school.
Absolutely.
Right.
Well, I haven't met you before, but I was going to say I know what Steve coached my son Ryan and a lot of the kids when they moved up in baseball to AAA a few years ago, and I don't think Park had a AAA traveling baseball team in a lot of years. And this year now they're going to have a 13 and a 15, and it's hard, you need to make sure the kids are ready for that emotionally and can understand that even if they're used to winning 2/3 or 3/4 of the game, they might only win a quarter or whatever, but that's the right level when you get near high school and you're being a Bantam A coach. You're at the age where you've got 8th and 9th graders and maybe a couple 10th graders on your team, and those kids have got an excellent chance to move right out here next year, several of them. I've seen Alec Gaetan play some D for you too, and I'm sure you don't want to pinpoint individual players, but I can fully expect that you're going to be excited to watch the Park High School tryouts next year and see how some of those second-year Bantams you've had have done.
Yep. Yeah, and we even saw it with this year's team. I mean, TJ Remfer, Casey Plender, Nikki Owens, Nick Hames as a freshman. And even going back a few years, I coached some of those kids back when we had a merger. They were actually at the Pee Wee B2 level. And now to see some of them, Nicky Hames, for example, actually was a PWC at one point.
Wow.
And now as a freshman, he contributed at the varsity level. So it's pretty amazing to see how the kids, when forced to play at a higher level, they don't really shy away from it. In fact, it really motivates them to, put in the time to be, above average, hockey players. And I think what we'll see is the program itself will start to feel the impact of that, the next couple of years.
So not wanting to single out any player, why don't you just tell us kind of the whole roster, like how you had them set up in lines?
Sure,
you don't have to say first line, second line, third line. Just give me your lines, and just so we can give a shout out to all the players, and that next year they can be on ParkTV playing hockey for the Orioles.
Yeah, no, well, it's funny. We really, we had a pretty short roster, so we didn't really have a third line because we only really had 2.
Okay, well, then they were probably interchangeable, would be my guess.
Yes, so, as far as, Park kids coming up, there's really 7 of them. So, and I'll kind of go by age. So you got Keenan Kneisel, who's a 10th grader, and he's been on the Bantam A team now for 2 years. And he'll be coming up next year. And then we have quite a few current freshmen at St. Louis Park, which would be Lexi Rebello, Connor Clares, Patrick Borderwick, Alec Gaetan, Jack Briak. So there's kind of a group of freshmen coming up. And then you have a pretty talented 8th grader, Empowered Newdecker, who's going to be coming up as well. You know, and again, so there's a good nucleus of, you know, St. Louis Park kids.
A couple guys that can score some goals, hopefully.
Yeah. And good bloodlines there with Andy being an old Park guy and being active on the board too, and
Yep. And again, yeah, some of this is you know, second generation Park, you know, Park folks. We had a pretty talented 7th grader on the team this year, and Riley Dvorak.
Wow, and we should mention that's really young to play Bantam hockey, let alone Bantam A.
Yeah,
usually I mean, you're talking 8th and 9th.
Just to give you an idea of how young he is, I mean, he was literally about 5 days from actually being a peewee. So he was, I mean, more than likely he was probably the youngest Bantam A. Yeah. Probably playing in the state of Minnesota, and again, a lot of games we, you know, for whatever reason, at most we would have 40, in some cases 3. And he would be out there, you know, hanging in there with, in many cases, teams with, you know, 6, 7, 10th graders on the team.
Right.
So we're talking a huge, you know, spread in age and maturity, and he actually did a incredible job with it. So, you know, as far as, you know, Park hockey goes, I think there's a lot of good things, you know, coming in the next couple of years. So,
well, one of the things I know I really enjoyed when I was growing up in Park, and even when my uncle graduated in the early 60s, is the school's not too large, but it's large enough that there's no reason as a Class A program that they can't have, you know, get back to the occasional years with success. And you mentioned Riley, he's a whale of a baseball player too. A lot of those kids you have are great at soccer, basketball, you know, they're doing a lot of cross training, which I know. Yep. I know that helps where you don't have to worry about burnout sometimes too. Where
no, and I think most of them are three-sport athletes, and yeah, it's you know, I played for Brecken High School.
Okay.
And when I played,
did you play for Wally Chapman?
Yep.
Okay.
And when I played, and I've told this to people, you know, St. Louis Park was never, you know, looked at as, you know, an easy game, so to speak, where, you know, we would usually win those games. But it might be by 1 goal, 2 goals, and they were a team that everybody was very aware of come playoff time. And again, they went to the, you know, it wasn't that long ago that they went to the state tournament out of this section.
10 years ago now that they went. I remember I was in this building cheering them on. They beat Blake in the section championship game. It was really fun. So looks like we got the Orioles back on the ice. I want to thank you so much for coming on with us on such short notice.
And I know the PWAs, we don't know how they're doing today, but come on out, go to the slpha.org website if you ever want to keep updated. You can always pull the calendar up and come on out and watch youth hockey. It's really fun. Doesn't cost anything.
And if the PWAs do win tonight, we can probably figure out when the next game is, which would be at Hopkins.
We'll announce that before we go.
I'm going to get in touch with John Basil, and I'll, if I can, I'm going to announce it. So
thank you.
Thanks for the help tonight.
All right, nice special guest there, Steve, and nice to talk about youth hockey. I know John and I have discussed that on several broadcasts, but to have the Bantam 8 coach is really nice, and we'll see what message Sean sent in the second period as the Orioles will start off here 3-0 as the score, as the Wilsey, Reinke, Ribel line will start it off against Lucas Savage. Now Lucas Savage out there with Murray and Malarkey. And here's Noah Fortmeyer trying to break it out for the Orioles here. So win or go home, and St. Louis Park going to have to do all they can to at least get the first one here. And I know Mr. Kovac has only seen 7 shots through 2 periods, so he's got to be, you know, I would imagine he'd be a little nervous when he sees one because he hasn't seen much rubber. So,
well, hopefully the Orioles can get the puck to the net in this period and skate like there's no tomorrow, because, John, there is no tomorrow.
Exactly. And, you know, the winner, we should mention, plays Friday night against second-rated Breck. But I know the Orioles, I just want them to end with a good period if we can't get 4 in. So behind the Oriole net, puck a shot out to the point, and a possible redirect in front, as that was 40 Fort Wenzel, who's trying to redirect that shot from the point by Fulkerson. On the far wall, 3 of the Orioles forwards battling against some of the Wildcat players, and here's Kittleson able to knock it in momentarily. Defense goes side to side on that pass, and able to kick it out front and up to the near wall, stolen away momentarily, but Carlos able to sweep it. He's been really getting a lot more ice as the season's gone for Park too. That's been nice to see.
He did. You know, if anything that you ever would say about Carlos Seguenza is he's one of the hardest workers on the team. When you watch him skate, his feet never stop moving. He never takes a shift off.
Right.
And he, in the playing time that he has earned, he has totally deserved.
And we should mention too, he's another one of those kids, great lacrosse and soccer player. And here's Nicky Owens behind the net for St. Louis Park, working it over to Carlos. Carlos steals it away momentarily from Kittleson. Pushed up on the near side. Tassin not able to get it out for Waconia. 15 minutes and counting here in the third period for St. Louis Park. And here's Greenbush with a nice give and go. Not a lot of room. Carlos with the follow-up. Couldn't get it through, unfortunately.
The traffic out front, one of my favorite Doug McLeods, hits traffic out front.
Doug McLeod, the voice of
the Gophers this year.
Coming back after he was doing that in the 70s and early 80s, I think.
One of my favorite hockey announcers of all time, Doug McLeod.
He's not a homer at all. He's not ever cheering for the Gophers. He's not a... Yeah, exactly. I'm just kidding, folks.
The same way John and I are not cheering for the Orioles tonight, Doug McLeod doesn't cheer for the Gophers.
Exactly. You don't often see me, announcing a lot of Benilde events, and you wouldn't see Doug McLeod announcing a North Dakota or Wisconsin hockey game.
Right.
14-10 remaining here, and we'll see if the Orioles can break that out. Shot on possibly off to the side there by Matson again. Should mention for Waconia, they've got 6 seniors playing tonight, and for the Orioles, that man Ryan Fromm playing possibly in his last ever high school game. We got Frank Jermusic out there, a senior for the Orioles, who came over from Hill Murray. He's a senior. Jake Bear, Danny Murray. Danny been playing forever. I know we were able to get Mark on the last home game and do a little interview. And Eric Spiker. Eric not able to be part of last Thursday's events, but he was recognized, and he's been a goalie for 12 years in the program. And I know his dad, Mitch, has been really active.
His dad was president of the Hockey Association when he was a mite. Because his older brother was a little, I think, was
Dean.
A squirt. Yeah, Dean was a squirt. Who Dean's one of the JV coaches.
Ooh, nice pad save as Matson fires from 20. Wow, and Matson throws the Oriole to the ice, and Lucas Savage doesn't think too kindly of that, and he takes it away. Malarkey one-on-one, going to the forehand there. Stop and go move, put it on net. Ooh, nice job by Cohen. Nice move by Miles Malarkey. Chose not to put it on net initially, but able to get some support, and Danny Murray with a nice wrist shot. Nice job by Kovac, probably his toughest save of the day, but he did come out and cut that angle down nicely.
Well, John, I've got some sad news. I got in touch with John Basil, and the Pee-wees lost in overtime in their district game tonight.
Oh, you're kidding! And John told me they lost 1-0 the other day on a goal scored with like 10 seconds to go in the game. So
I'm trying to get the score of the overtime loss, but he just said lost in overtime via text message so far.
So, but good season for the Pee-wees. They were almost 500 in the district as well, and I know that Tim Donahue's boy, and there was a lot of people that have been involved coaching a long time with that program. Danny Bissonette, one of the assistants. So here, as you take a look at Nathan Kovac, the senior who's seen, as we mentioned, almost 80 games in the last 3 years for Waconia. Not sure.
I would say Ryan Fromm has seen a lot of games in the last 3 years. Basically splitting time all the way from his sophomore year, and he even played some varsity as a 9th grader.
Yeah, and I know one thing as we get going, if the Orioles don't cut into the lead here, we'll maybe talk about some other things as we go here. 2-on-2 break here that time. Oh, nice piece of work by Jermusic as Kittleson not able to get the shot off. I was just going to say that I know when Ryan and Ryan Nichols, the other goalie, were sophomores and juniors, there was only 2 goalies in the whole program because one of the goalies quit the team. So those 2 guys play. Whoever wasn't starting on varsity started on JV and then had to back up the varsity. So there was lots of nights when the guys, one goalie would get 4 periods and the other would get 3.
And you knew you were going to play.
And you can never complain. A school like St. Louis Park, even if the team isn't winning a lot, even this year we haven't had a lot of blowouts or anything. We had the 1-7-1 game to Totino, but been a lot of really close games, and
correct me if I'm wrong, John, but when Ryan Fromm was a freshman, he got the start against the Dyna Hornets.
I will never forget. What was amazing is I went to Park, and as you know, my aunts and uncles did, but we're open enrolled at Park. And when Ryan was in 9th grade, he was on the Bantam A for Armstrong. But he was going to Park, and we came down to the tryouts because Tim Donahue, then the coach, was like, hey, come on down, be part of the camp. We want you to meet some of the guys. And he must have called me 3 times.
Right.
So then we did it, and then the Bantam A coach up there wasn't too thrilled. So Ryan ended up playing school, and Timmy decided to let him be the backup for the first varsity game, and then his first ever game was Addie Dyna, who won the state title that year.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a pretty first period, but I'll never forget, we got a picture of Donnie Williams, the goalie coach, with Ryan as he's comforting him. You know what I mean? He's comforting him right after he comes out of the game, and we're way behind. And I remember thinking, oh my heavens. I couldn't even imagine what it was like to play your first ever game
at Braemar Arena.
I know.
Famed Braemar Arena.
Well, and you know, it's so neat to wear your school colors. You being a Park guy yourself, and I know, you know, you grew up over on historic Ottawa Avenue over there.
I did.
A couple weeks ago when we played Rogers, your high school friend Paul Hellickson came to the game, and his son's playing for Rogers. And I know I'm just so proud that, you know, the kids are wearing the orange and black, and you got the pipeline, and we kept that. So.
That's right.
It means a lot to me, you know, to run into people I know.
And the fact that you and I get to come and volunteer our time and help out, and so everybody can see our kids working hard out here on the ice.
Yeah, and here's the Bear line. Now Bear out there with Joey Kramer, 2 guys deep on the forecheck, and Jesper, the other winger. Park got to pull all the stops out, sending 3 forecheckers low, trying to create some chances. And here's a turnover. Nice hands by Jake as he shovels it into the corner to Kramer. Kramer, the junior winger, pins his Wildcat player to the boards, and Bear with a nice set of circumstances as he beats Madsen. Breakaway this time. Fromm able to get it.
Save by Fromm.
And that was Wilsey on a breakaway that time. I think that was his second breakaway of the game. I think he had the other one. But so at the 10:25 mark, still 3-0. Nice save by Ryan. And Jesper will try to add to his 3 goals on the season. The Finnish Flash has been a big part of this team. And Mr. and Mrs. Basil taking him in. So puck is shot all the way down. Both teams will change on the fly. Possible break for Waconia as Rybel able to redirect that long pass at center ice, and Rybel also takes it away. Here's a break again for Waconia. 37 Reinke passed it out to Fort Wensler. Fort Wensler ridden off the puck by Lucas Savage. Hill's also battling him down low. And nice job by Lucas Savage, just able to get it out of the zone. And Casey Plender, he's had a nice piece of work out there as well. He's done a nice job with his stick tonight and used his body quite well, I thought.
Murray gets it in deep there, and like you said, we got to get the 3-man forecheck going.
There's just no tomorrow, and you might even have to look at.
We might get a 5-man forecheck going here.
You might want to have either Frank or Charlie back as the lone defenseman,
Yeah.
and only 9:19 remaining, and no matter what, we got to get the first one. Then you can maybe let up. Here's Fortmar going to the backhand.
Oh,
he
Lucas
has
Savage not ready for the pass.
And there was a lot of traffic.
Oh,
and a lot of traffic there. Danny Murray winning. Nice to see Park playing hard here. Lucas Savage right off the face mask with that wrist shot. Jake going for his 15th of the year. That puck is going to be shot all the way down. And so nice to see Park going for the jugular here. You know, and what is Coach Podine and Ranheim and Spirides and the whole posse over there going to do but just lay it out on the line here? So,
can we get a close-up of Coach Podine's mittens?
Yeah, I don't know if we can get that, Paul, if you can signal that to one of our crack camera people, but at a next break, we need to get a shot of Sean's mittens.
A nice close-up of those mittens.
That'll go in well with the Park theme. So, Park wins the draw again, and here's Owens behind the net. And Hills again, nice piece of footwork there.
Right on net.
Ooh,
and change up by Hills.
And nothing wrong, just throw it on net there, and that's got to be 4 or 5 shots already this period.
I'm calling it 3.
But there's one right there. That's all right, though.
It could be 4 or 5, but I'm calling it 3.
So 8:35 remaining in period 3 and possibly the Orioles season here.
Considering they had 3 in the first and 4 in the second, they've already got 3 in the third.
Yeah, and you can see we're playing much more aggressive. They're playing a little bit calmer, more of a shell, and let's see if that is something that comes back to bite him. As
Owens gets sandwiched there.
He had a Waconia Wildcat sandwich, and he didn't enjoy that. So possible breakaway, and as Waconia was sprung number 34 that time, that was Jeff Ballo was wide open at the far red line. Nice hold that time again by the Orioles. Lucas Savage with speed as he's out there with, I think, Greenbush out there as well. So the Orioles put some of the big guns out there. You're going to shorten the bench up here. Matson has it momentarily taken away. Here's Wilsey. Sweep check by Lucas Savage, and Lucas Savage from behind. No penalty called, thank goodness there. Waconia out front again, right? Ooh, possible.
Danny Murray almost had a little 1-on-2 there, but
yeah, Rival almost had a point-blank shot from 10 feet. 37 for them. Reinke behind the net, right out front. Slap shot, fires. Frommer gloves that one. We're going to have a break with the 7:20 mark. Nice collection of Park fans we should mention here tonight. They're kind of spread out over both sides, but a lot farther drive at 8 o'clock on for Waconia fans, but got to be a couple hundred Park fans that have come, and nice to see them all sticking around here, and hopefully they'll stay. Why wouldn't they? Well, all right.
There we go. Another save by Fromm.
I don't know what that hit.
It hit the net. I think it tipped off of Ryan and it went all and hit the net, the netting.
So 7:08 remaining. It was a nice sequence. I think Waconia has improved since the start of the year. I don't know how. I always wonder how Ryan doesn't pull the old GROIN when he does a lot of that diving, but I know I'd be hospitalized for several weeks. So what's the prognosis for TJ with the left shoulder in that? Does it look like?
He's healing just fine. The orthopedic surgeon said that about 6 weeks. There's a goal. Made the initial save, and we couldn't no back check to prevent that goal there.
You see Frommer laying collapse on the ice there. Nice slap shot from the point. I didn't get the number who fired that cannon, but it might have been as Matson fired it.
But he should be ready for baseball season, I guess is where I was going with TJ's collarbone.
Yeah, okay. So, and it isn't in his pitching hand or pitching arm.
No, it's his off arm, and looks like Podine's going to let some players play that haven't seen a lot of ice time this year. He's got Mitchell Hickerson out there, and Riley.
Riley Esperson.
Esperson is out there wearing number 2.
Taking TJ's number. Riley's only a sophomore. He's a big kid as well and a good athlete. I know he said he's playing lacrosse. We lost another baseball player possibly.
He's not going to play baseball?
I hear that. Maybe we can talk him into it. Yeah. Hickerson and Knutson. We should mention Jesse hasn't gotten many shifts today, but he's a guy that also gives 110%. Jesse through traffic trying to get that. Yeah, Jesse's a guy that'll run through walls.
Jesse's another one of those players that is just he's the Energizer Bunny. He goes all the time when he's on the ice. Never takes a shift off.
Yeah, and nice to see them. Hopefully they'll get several shifts as it's 4-0 now, and
5 minutes, 4 goals. It's going to be difficult for the Orioles.
Right. Noah Fortmeyer bangs it over to Charlie Hills as they play catch behind the Orioles. That Curtis Greenberg is trying to get sprung here on a break. Misses his stick, but not going to be icing as that hit off Haar's stick. Greenbush in the corner, goes to the backhand, pushing it out front, but not able to get some help on that. And here's Owens as well battling. Like to see the Orioles put one in here, and even if they do the four-man forecheck, I'm fine with that. So
little icing on Waconia with some pressure there from the Orioles. Still got to take that shot when they have the opportunity. Still looking for the pretty shot, and that pretty shot's just not coming.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple good chances. As you see Danny Murray out there again, number 8 for St. Louis Park. We should mention this is his last high school game, last 5 minutes. Nice to see him getting some extended ice tonight, and And maybe, maybe E. Spiker will get thrown out there briefly. I don't know what Sean's thinking, but Eric looks like he's ready to come in, and might be a nice time to get Eric some ice since he missed the senior day. And he's a really nice kid, really involved in DECA. And Danny Murray with a wrister, and we are going to have a penalty. I think the Orioles are, Frankie Jermusic going to get whistled for the cross check here, or interference, excuse me. Didn't quite see it, but one of the Waconia players went down hard on the near boards here, and been a pretty, except for that one sequence, really been a pretty clean game, except for that one sequence. Waconia had one minor, and
that's our second minor besides that one sequence, like you said.
Luca Savage and Hills out there for the Orioles, and Matson out there on another face-off draw as he's got Wilsey and Ribel out there. Those guys have combined for 20 power play goals, and they've added to their total tonight as well for the Wildcats. I should mention this game it's kind of funny that we're playing Waconia for the last game of the season. Ryan's two cousins are both graduated recently, or one graduated just from Waconia, and we're out there a lot, so they didn't quite make it out on the 8 p.m. start tonight, but ooh, nice job that time as Luca Savage able to get a piece of the Waconia player, and Luca Savage and Greenbush on a possible break for the Orioles. Little Curtis with a little slash that time, and nice job by Fortmeyer. We talked about Bantam, and here's an example of 3 guys that played on that Bantam team that went to the state tournament a couple years ago. With Greenbush, Fortmeyer, and Luca Savage. Matson again on the weak side. Wrister from 15. Fromm able to get a shoulder on that. 40 behind the net. Looking for some help with just a minute remaining in the power play this time for Waconia. Passed out in front, 7. And they're going to wave it off. Yep, and I think
we got lucky there, honestly.
I think we did too, because, ooh, Luca Savage falls down. That was Ribel, who was camped right in front of the net. Can't tell if he shot that, and it definitely eventually went in the net. We saw that. But Curtis tried to back up Ryan that time. Don't know if we have don't know if he said that. When you can be in the crease, we should tell people you can definitely be in the crease if the puck is loose.
That's correct.
So I don't know why he really waved that off, but maybe
he lost sight of the puck and he blew the whistle. And I think the whistle blew before he saw it go in the net. So a break for the Orioles, but at 4-0 with 4:12 left in the game, we need a few more breaks than that.
All right, here's Carlos off the face-off win. Just pushes it off the far wall, and with speed, look at him going, hightailing it down. Not able to beat 18 on that play. And again, a lot of the first liners still out there for the power play as they're trying to add to their total and work on it. They're going to need to be executing at full strength against Breck on Friday night. Yeah. Yes. So what a nice team they have. I know Matt Colford's son is their leading scorer, and he's an old St. Louis Park guy. Went to Benilde, and I've known him for years and years. So should mention too that Charlie Hill's able to shoot it out.
He gets her out. I think that'll about do it on the power play for Waconia here.
Jermusic almost out as only 5 seconds remain in that power play. 3:19 remaining in the period here. And here's Frank.
I'm giving Charlie Hills a shot on goal right there.
Why not? Absolutely.
If the goalie wasn't there, it would have went in.
You're right.
That's the criteria.
So 4-0 as TJ Rempfer finds teammate Luca Savage on the far side. Just 3 minutes to go, and we'll see if some of the other guys that don't get a lot of ice get sent back out here. Waconia with a 3-on-3 rush, stays onside, slap shot powered. Frommer, it hit part of his pad. I don't think he knew if that had gone in either. It was a nice screen to shoot it through the Oriole defenseman there. So you watch him shoot it right through the screen. Ryan does get part of the...
Those are the toughest saves for the goalie. They don't know where the puck is coming from.
I know, and you got... We should mention a lot of these Park guys, really great 2- and 3-sport athletes. I know there's a guy right there, Jake Beer, who's quite an athlete who's...
It's on the lacrosse. He plays lacrosse. Oh!
Wow, I don't know what
that went in.
I think it hit off Ryan's shoulder, but he didn't know that
The ref
either.
was in good position, so you know. That's off. They're off. Okay.
Just 2:25 remaining in the third period here.
Greenbush with a head of steam here.
Curtis trying to split him. Not able to split the Waconia defense, but nice forecheck by Owens. He flips it behind the net where he's got Jake Beer able to help him out down there.
Speaking of 2- and 3-sport athletes, you got Greenbush out there. He's a baseball player and a hockey player. You got Remfer out there. He's playing soccer and hockey and baseball.
And his sister's a whale of a soccer and golfer, yeah.
And Jamersic played on the varsity football team and here. And
Joey Kramer.
Joey Kramer's on the football team and the hockey team. And Owens is on the soccer team and the hockey team. So the majority of the Orioles are at least 2-sport athletes, sometimes more.
Right, exactly. And your son as well. I mean, he's been active in a lot. Did that hit at my shoulder and then the pipe? Good, nice close up there by our crack staff here, Missy, who's 7-8 months along in special development in her life. Nice camera work there. So just 1:30 remaining. Ooh, shot put on net again. Frommer able to push that aside. As nice to see Jesper Junkel out there for the Orioles and Joey Kramer. This will be Jesper's last ever probably shift in a United States high school game, as he's going to go back to Finland in late June. So
the Finnish Flash, is that what?
That's what I always called him. I don't know if he even liked it, but he. I know Ryan enjoyed taking him to a Wild game, and I'm sure they'll do that. Nice to see Jesse Knutson back out there again. And heard Jesse's not playing baseball this year as he's been having some shoulder issues, but hopefully we'll get him back next year.
Yeah, Jesse sure can hit a baseball hard, boy.
Yeah, and a lot of seniors out there. You got Jake Bear. This is nice to see. Jake Bear out there, Frommer, along with all senior line. Bear, Murray, along with, Jesper, who's not coming back, and on defense, Jermusic and Fortmeyer. We're under a minute remaining here in the third period as the Orioles season is going to come to a close. And Steve, it's really been enjoyable for me to spend this time with you, even though the game hasn't gone maybe the way we wanted it. Nice for a couple old SLP dads to take a look at Sean Podine. Just finishing his second year, Sean, and we hope everybody can maintain some patience, as there have been some commitments made to Mr. Podine that will keep him anchored in the St. Louis Park area for a while and run in the summer and the spring youth program. And as we mentioned with your interview with Colin, plenty to be upbeat about, and I'm really looking forward to coming to a lot of games next year. You guys have so much. I can't believe you probably have more players coming back than about any team around.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough team to make next year. With all the juniors on this team, the juniors and sophomores that are playing varsity. Even a lot of the JV players are going to have they're going to have to really work hard this summer to get an opportunity. A 2-on-1 break here.
Danny Murray.
Oh,
would have loved to see that go in. Danny, as he got one the other night against Cooper and almost bagged one there. As we're inside of 20 seconds and we are going to have a momentary stop here.
I think that they said that might have hit one of the Orioles leaning over the bench there. The Waconia goalie making a heck of a save after only seeing his not very many shots tonight. That was a great reaction, great glove time there.
And just 17 seconds. I'm really glad for a lot of the seniors, as well as always nice to have the last game of the year on, and at least it was a competitive score and good sportsmanship on both ends as the countdown bins 5, 4, 3, and that's going to do it here at St. Louis Park at Parade Ice Garden as the season and careers end for some of the players. And not able to get her done tonight as we're at 4-0, but whoa, somebody almost collides there. Eric Spiker and all the guys join him out there. I know the Orioles wish it would have been a different result, but the Orioles season ends at the 4:21-1 mark, and Waconia gets the reward of facing up with Breck, as they obviously are the section favorites. What do you got for maybe a final summary or just observations?
My final shots on goal.
Because I'm just going to take a
John
picture.
Goes, Steve, would you do the shots on goal? And he was really nice when he asked me, so I said sure.
And that's the key. I was nice.
He was nice.
I'm not always nice.
Well, my official shots on goal for the ParkTV.org broadcast were 39 shots for Waconia and 12 shots for the Orioles. Waconia had 11 shots in the third period. And the Orioles had 5 shots in the third period. They, you're just not going to win a lot of hockey games when you only put 12 shots on net. You got to give Waconia a lot of credit for keeping us out of their offensive zone tonight.
That my friend, was good analysis by Steve Hoffman, your city councilman. We didn't even touch about city issues because we got so wrapped up with the Cullen interview.
We did get wrapped up. You know what? The Cullen interview was way more exciting than the city council issues that we've got going on. I'll just tell you that right now. But if you want to get in touch with any of your council members, you can always go on to the St. Louis Park website. All of the council members' email addresses and phone numbers are listed. So if you have any questions about what's going on with the city council, all of our meetings are open meetings. You can come to any of them, and they're all listed on the St. Louis Park City website, which is stlouispark.org.
Yep. And we should mention, I want to thank Paul and Misty. This is our last hockey game of the season. I know they're going to cover the Benilde Armstrong game tomorrow on Park 16. Thank you, Misty, for all your help this year. We've done a lot of events, and it's been a lot of fun, and I've really enjoyed it. And on behalf of Steve Hoffman, I wanted to just let everybody know, if you want to order a copy of the game tonight, go to parktv.org. Parktv.org, or call that number. Steve, you got one last comment.
One last thing. ParkTV just got hooked up with YouTube. So now everything that we do on ParkTV is going to be posted on YouTube. Very user-friendly. You can see anything you want on YouTube through ParkTV.
Good call, because make sure you go to that, and Paul, kick it with that music
there
again
you go,
as we
Paul.
break it out for another season. Kick it, Paul, kick it. We'll see you next year here on ParkTV.